What's going on, everybody?
Who is that cat? Archer. You're just gonna stare at me? Oh.
I am Walrus. What the hell?
Hey, welcome everybody. It is Artie of Artie's Corporate Fiction. Welcome. We have a different type of a different kind of live stream today. I know this is kind of a little bit outside of my usual stuff, but I feel like I had to when I saw this, I feel like today, I feel like, or was it today or yesterday? Or this morning? Either way, I feel like I had to talk about it because it's I couldn't believe it when I saw it, but so okay, let's kind of start. So who is this individual first off? Her channel name on Twitch is Kira Chats, and it's okay if you don't know who that is, but she's a fairly popular Twitch streamer, politics, and she's also heavily on the left. And by heavily on the left, I mean she's a card carrying communist and self-described communist, I should say. But I feel like, oh gosh, I wish I had this up. I wish I had this for you guys ready before I started looking for this. Oh, but you guys have heard of this. Oh, let me make sure that you guys can hear it too. Let me see here. You guys have heard
$5 a month.
that sound, right? Well, this is her. Here, she was the one who did the infamous $5 a month thing and turned into one of my it turned into my sound effect for anybody who donates $5 to the channel. Persnickety, I mean, well, you're gonna have to tell it to Kira because on her Twitch page she says she's a Marxist. So I mean, you're gonna have to talk to her about it. Well, she somebody put together a compilation of her last couple of streams, and the long and short of it is that she is basically an avowed supporter of not necessarily Hamas, but she's avidly anti-Israel, but supports the PFLP, which is the Popular Front for the Liberation of Palestine, which is supposedly a secular but Marxist-Leninist Palestinian terrorist organization. So, and the thing is, my problem is that what she's doing is explicitly against Twitch's toss. But you guys can listen in with me.
Codenamed Jericho Wall, outlined point by point exactly the kind of devastating invasion that led to the deaths of about 1,200 people. It's a sad day when the New York Times is even using the correct language to describe the deaths that occurred on October 7th, and Al Jazeera is not. Al Jazeera keeps saying Hamas killed 1,200 people. They keep saying that, and it's pissing me the fuck off. Stop it. Stop saying that. That's not true. I'm very, very aware of the possibility that anybody can grow and learn, and this is what I hope for all of us. I know, on Blue Sky right now, if you're on Blue Sky, I'm running this mute list called Zionist Scum.
Well, so what's the first thing? Hold on, I'm sorry. Hold on. Okay. So the first thing she's said. So first thing she's suggesting is that she's suggesting that Hamas didn't actually kill 1,200 Israelis on October 7th. And which is something I've noticed with a lot of far lefty groups where they are spreading this meme that the majority of deaths on October 7th was actually either fabricated or was in fact committed by the IDF against its own population. But that's a common thing that's spread on the far left.
So if somebody ever shows a certain characteristic that I list, say they're going around saying Israel has the right to defend itself, they're saying Zionist lies, et cetera, et cetera. I put them on the list, to make sure that people don't engage with that.
So the fact that somebody says that Israel has the right to defend itself puts you on a Zionist scum list. That's all it takes.
And we can better control the traffic of Zionism on that website. Do we have to sit here or do protest? Is it possible to go fight on the front line? Not really a good idea to do that. Are you talking about going to Gaza? Gaza?
She's trying to pronounce it in the hardcore Gaza. The Gaza.
Still trying to figure out how to say it. I need to re-listen to that VOD with Cole and learn the pronunciations. If you're talking about going to the front line, as in going to Gaza, don't consider doing that. It doesn't make any sense to do that. You're probably just gonna die. What a frontline fight could look like is you doing direct action to disable the Israeli genocide machine, because the Israeli genocide machine is happening. It is in action in Gaza right now and in the West Bank.
Young_black_economist just resubscribed for 14 months. Wow, the black buys are back.
Young Black Economist! Thank you for the 14 months. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, what you want to do, if you really want to do fighting on the front lines, it's not worth spending all the money and effort to go to Gaza where there's a blockade. You won't be able to get in anyways.
Oh, by the way, all right. On a side note, guys, I did improve the Christmas jump scare. It is several decibels louder. Hopefully that'll work.
And then if you did, it would be extremely detrimental. I don't think that's the smartest use of resources or life, personally.
No, I'm not gonna clap.
None of the Palestinian organizations.
No. Sorry, I have this running at 1.25 speed because I'm not gonna suffer you guys through the full thing. Okay.
That I've been paying attention to, including the PFLP, excuse me, the Palestinian.
Please don't do it, Sathael. Please don't. Not now. Please save it. Hold fast on the trigger if we're gonna do it. But I was gonna also, by the way, the background, I think she confirms it later on, but in the background music is actually propaganda music created by the PFLP. So
in Front for the Liberation, the People's Front for Liberation of Palestine. Holy shit. Wake up! The PFLP is not, which is, by the way, one of the armed groups that is fighting along Hamas to try to prevent Israel from annexing Gaza right now. They're not telling any of us to come down there. So I'm just saying, if you want to take a page out of their book, what they're asking you to do is to speak truth to the Palestinian perspective, to defeat the Zionist lies, to disassemble the Zionist war machine, the genocide machine. For instance, if you were to handcuff yourself to the doors of Elbit weapons manufacturer, which is one of the biggest weapons manufacturers for Israeli genocide material, that would be something that would be fighting on the front lines, as far as I can, like, in my, that's the way that I translate that. Hey Sakura, what's up? How are you? Welcome. Welcome, welcome. You had bottom surgery, Shireen? Ooh, congrats. 5 weeks ago. Congrats.
Oh, congrats. I really wonder, gosh, I have to wonder how most of Gazans think about trans people, but sure, moving on.
Yeah, by the way, what I just told you is probably illegal, so don't do that. But what I'm saying is, if one were to do something like fight on the front lines, that is what one would do.
Jesus
However, I would not
Christ.
advise that because we love Joe Biden and America and the law here.
Okay, and the cringe disclaimers.
For the record.
Yeah, okay, sure.
I felt that urge to want to go to Egypt. I felt that urge to go to the blockade in Egypt. And
Bullsh. Where's my? The moment's already passed. But I'm calling BS on that. Oh, I had the urge to go to the blockade and help my brothers and sisters. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. You're virtue signaling hard, and pretending that you're doing activism, while sitting on your ass collecting subs. Like me.
To stand in protest there.
But then again, I don't tell my audience to go into a war zone to fight for their cause, if they so please.
Even if it doesn't make sense, even if it costs way more money than like the money could be used in a better way, even if my voice wouldn't be best used there, I have felt that urge to do that because I feel like I have to.
My voice wouldn't be
Because
best
even if it
used
doesn't make
there.
sense, I can't just sit here seeing what I'm seeing and not physically, at least make myself physically present there. You know what I mean? So if that mirrors any of your feelings, then let me know, because that's the way that I'm feeling right now. But my body being present at a blockade isn't actually the best use of my body. The best use of my body right now would be in direct action in the country that is conducting the genocide, that is fueling the genocide, America, that the country I currently live in, when I'm in close proximity to, say, weapons manufacturers right now. That's the logic that I've been applying to this. That I have more of if I'm going to be sacrificing my life, because that's what effectively you'd be doing if you go to Gaza right now. If you're trying to go into Gaza and fight, you would effectively be sacrificing your life. I think there's more effective ways to go about your activism than that, personally. And again, this isn't just my opinion. I'm taking a page out of the PFLP's book here.
What is she saying? She's basically, look, this is what, the PFLP wants you to do instead. A terrorist, or I'm merely just telling you what a terrorist group does, that so you can best help their cause.
Where they're not asking people in the West to come to Gaza. I feel like if they wanted us to come to Gaza, they would ask us to come to Gaza. They're not mincing words here. They're already listed as a terrorist organization. Like, they're not like, ooh, we better like watch what we say. I think they've been hijacking planes and shit historically. Like, they're not actually trying to like tiptoe here. So that's the way that I'm conducting myself.
She knows what they've done. We'll go to a brief overview of what the PFLP have done. Brad. Oh, really, Brad? I mean, I don't want to change it. I don't want to change the sound effect because it's such a meme. But you know what? You might be right. I may have just ruined it by showcasing her today. We'll see. I might have to do it
Myself right now. I'm trying to take a page out of their book. So who are the communists fighting for Palestine?
Why? how it like how is this not cultural appropriation according to their definition? This is the cringiest like pro-terrorism cosplay I've ever seen.
Communists Fighting for Palestine. The Popular Front for the Liberation of Palestine, or the PFLP, is a Palestinian Marxist-Leninist and revolutionary organization founded after the Six-Day War in 1967. Founded by Palestinian doctor and Christian George Habash, though it operates as
Who was raised Greek Orthodox Christian? Thank you very much. That means we're probably related. That means I have PFLP blood in my veins. I'm not going to look into that any further. Yes, I just want to believe. Oh, they're tankies. Guess I'm going to support Israel now.
as secular.
Hey, Swarden, thank you for the $5 super chat. I think she knows how how the group treats women and gay people. Oh wait, she probably uses fake news by Jews. I feel like they bury it into their subconscious and they just don't talk about it. I don't think that I think she's more she's self-aware enough. I'm probably giving her too much credit by knowing that she's self-aware enough that they know that a radical Islamist groups, not like PFLP, but like Hamas or Palestinian Islamic Jihad, I think she's aware of that they would not be at all anywhere near as progressive as they are here in the West, but she just like buries it. She doesn't talk about it. Like, but that's me giving her I feel like I'm giving her too much credit for that.
Meaning religion plays no role in its structure or motive. Previously, the PFLP gained notoriety in the 1960s and 70s for hijacking planes to draw attention to their cause.
It makes me want to listen to that PFLP song now. The one when they say we come out of the rock. It's so
Told you.
I love this song so much.
I told you she's basically like spreading propaganda uncritically. I'm skipping through this because even I don't think I'm going to be able to get past the toss. And YouTube reviewer, I am criticizing what she's doing. Please do not take me down.
Correction, I believe this is the D text. DFLP is a democratic. PFLP is the People's Liberation Front for Palestine. DFLP is a Democratic Liberation Front for Palestine. Yeah. Sorry, okay.
Okay, so they muted it. All right, good.
What do you see as a solution that will make both sides content enough to end the fighting forever? There is no solution that makes an oppressor content unless they oppress. I'm not interested in both sides being happy.
Also this.
Why would we? Why? What I fail to understand is why anyone thinks that Israel's position, Israel's opinion, should be cared about here. Abolish Israel. Land back for Palestine. Land back for Palestinians. Let them return home. And Israel be damned. Sorry if you're crying about it, but fuck you. Sorry. Shouldn't have stolen people's land and homes in the first place. Shouldn't have fucking violently forced
So she's all about eradicating Israel.
them out of their lands.
God. The victim tipped $50.
Also, for some reason, she also supports the Houthis taking over a merchant ship. And I think only one of them was actually an Israeli flagship. Israeli flagged ship. There you go. And she's like giddy over it.
I condemn this. I am so condemning this right now.
Yeah, I mean, you might as
Ooh. Ooh. You stop that. It's not actually cool as fucking hell. Yeah, why did they just vote harder against the ship? If you are not Palestinian and you are making declarations about what Palestinians need, you are being a colonizer. It's nothing you say. Whenever I'm talking about how Israel needs to be abolished, whenever I'm talking about how Palestinians deserve all of their land back and how they should have every single inch of their own land taken back, no two-state solution bullshit, I'm echoing what Palestinians are telling me. I'm echoing the words of the Palestinian resistance I am not coming up with this on my own. Y'all need to fucking stop making the issuing these like prescriptions for what Palestine needs, because they're not reflecting what Palestinians are saying. But yeah, no, 100%. That's a really good point, that like having being like, hey, we're exchanging them for the women and children in your prisons, as opposed to exchanging for the Hamas prisoners. That is very interesting.
What?
So that is more of a win. And it should also be said that this was the original intention of October 7th. In my, I can't speak for the entirety of it. In my opinion, I do think October 7th was in part meant to terrorize Israelis, given, and I know that word is a lot of stigma attached to it.
Wait, so okay, so does she think that? So she does think that Hamas actually killed Israelis on October 7th. What happened before?
Personally, don't stigmatize it, because it is terrorizing a population that is engaging in genocide, even if they are not feeling like they're directly doing that. But by virtue of the fact that they're in a settler colonial state.
Right. Basically, so there are no. So I've also heard this as well from the furthest of the. Again, this is not all lefties. This is not. I'm going to say this. This is not all hardcore lefties. This is not all people who they would consider themselves like pro Palestine. But there is a segment of far left individuals who are basically like, there are no civilians in Israel. Everybody is fair game. So all of those folks at the music festival, settler colonialists. All of the babies and the children, settler babies. They're all fair game, according to people like this individual.
And their existence necessitates constant violence, constant displacement, constant horrors, constant genocide. So like, if somebody wants to vote for Joe Biden, vote for fucking Joe Biden. Either Joe Biden or Trump's gonna be elected. Both are horrible people. Both are gonna murder Arabs. And whatever. There are pros to Trump being elected. I feel like if Trump were elected, maybe liberals would start to see that, you know, Israel sucks, actually. maybe liberals would have an easier time understanding what the United States is doing is evil.
Also, by the way, these are the kinds of far left folks that say liberals, as in American liberals, people that normally we would consider be left leaning on the left side. These folks, her and folks like her, are so far to the left that they despise liberals. I mean, they think anybody to the right of liberals are fascists. Actually, I think they even think that liberals are fascists anyway. Like that. This is how like extreme I'm talking about here when it comes to this individual and people on her side.
But then again, they would be liberals and they would say it's because Trump is bad, not the United States. So maybe not. Whatever. I don't know. I know a lot of people say they're both the exact same. If you want to say that, fine. I do think there are differences, but like, I'm not going to go around telling people to vote for Joe Biden. I feel like that is, honestly, I feel like it's racist to do that. For me to tell people to vote for Joe Biden means that I'm telling Arab people to vote for their oppressor. Is there going to be a VOD? This is a VOD. Yeah, today's
Brad, I understand.
I unpublished a lot of VODs. Because there are fascists going around, Zionists that are going around.
Oh, she must mean me. Normally I don't report people. I don't. People have said a lot of wild stuff. I have never ever reported any First Amendment auditor. I've never reported a SovSit or SovSit guru. I've never reported like any even Youssef with all of his crap that he says about Zionist Jews. I have not reported him. She's the first exception. I think the last time I actually reported somebody either on YouTube or Twitch was like at least 5 or 6 years ago, at least. But her, she is explicitly violating TOS on Twitch. Because Twitch's TOS explicitly prohibits the promotion or endorsement of terrorism.
Right now, trying to clip chimp people to get them banned. It's already happened to one of us. It's already happened to Idan Simpson. So in order to protect my channel, because I have been saying a lot of things that can be construed as terrorism, hate, anti-Semitism, if you will. You know, you've seen how shit's been going down lately. I pulled my VODs. I don't know if it's gonna be a permanent pull, but I just did just for now because I can't with that. But this one I'll leave up because I think we've been pretty uncontroversial, you know, fairly, relatively speaking.
Have you?
By the way, chat, can I get a PFLP flag without getting on a list? Do you think I necessarily will get on a fucking list for that?
It's like, is there a way I can like Amazon an ISIS flag? Is that gonna get me you know put on a list somewhere?
Someone waving that at one of the protests, yesterday's protest, and I was like, that's an amazing flag. I want that flag. But the PFLP is technically a terrorist organization. So I don't know if I can.
And she rolls her eyes at it.
Yeah, don't do it. Okay, I won't do it. In fact, my name Kira, I named myself Kira after Kira Nerys, who is a terrorist fighting, who fought the fascist occupation of her planet.
What?
She calls herself a terrorist, for the record. I'm not just saying that. And this is also why I don't have an issue with the word terrorist. A lot of people have like a stigma attached to it. And I understand that, like, you don't want to go around saying Palestinian resistance fighters are terrorists. I understand that. And I wouldn't use that word to describe a lot of them, but like there are terrorists that are fighting for Palestinian liberation. But I don't find that to be a stigmatizing label because it's the nature of what you have to do when you are an occupied people and have no other choice.
I mean, what else do you want to say?
But I wouldn't just say that willy-nilly around liberals because they're going to take that as, so that's evil people thing. They're evil people. And I don't.
Yeah, okay, so I did just look her up. And yeah, you're saying Kira Nerys is like a character from Star Trek, Deep Space Nine. And damn, I got a lot of Trekkies in my chat. And y'all are raging.
I don't believe that, as you can tell. About resistance and the terrorist thing. Oh, thank you, Dovahkin. That's so sweet of you to say. I'm base. Thank you. Yeah, so like in the beginning of like right after October 7th, I was saying Hamas terrorists to describe Hamas fighters, and then I did that for like a little bit on one stream, and then the next day I apologized because I'm like, listen, as much as I might personally agree with the label being applied here, I recognize that there's a moral weight added to it that I don't agree with. So
I apologize for calling Hamas a terrorist organization.
So until that's rectified, you know, and until there's like a decent movement to like kind of redefine what it means to be a terrorist in terms of like how we digest it morally speaking, I'm probably not going to use that word. I'll probably use resistance fighters, resistance, militants, soldiers, but terrorists, even if they are being terrorists, I don't think it's appropriate because I'm always going to be around some liberal that's going to think I'm saying Hamas bad. Oh, apparently Human Rights Watch, which I've already suspected is not great, is biased towards Israel. Just
okay, right. Human Rights Watch is biased towards Israel. I've never heard of that being levied at Human Rights Watch. If anything, I hear nothing but folks saying that Human Rights Watch is biased against Israel, but. Moving on.
Officially, let me say that, put that out there. The Human Rights Watch is biased towards the Zionist occupation. They present themselves as like this organization that is like perfectly neutral, kind of like Doctors Without Borders. They are not, actually. They are biased towards Zionism. They do some good work sometimes, but who fucking cares? So everything I've read from everything that we've been managed to get out of these hostages, you know, that Israel hasn't completely shut down, shows that not Israel, Hamas treated the hostages very well, ate the same food that Hamas, the hostages.
Well, this was uploaded 2 days ago. We have obviously the news has already been out from testimonies from the hostages and witnesses describing what they saw, what Hamas did. While I understand witness testimony isn't the best evidence, it's still evidence. And no, it does not portray a rosy picture for Hamas in any event.
Ate the same food that Hamas ate, which is very important because food is a very much like what you ingest is very much a indicator of like care. So compare that to the Palestinian children, like actual children being kept in Israeli prisons, being fed white or just uncooked rice as their food. Compare that to Hamas eating the same food as the hostages. Also, whenever they could give them medicine, they gave them. It wasn't always accessible because of the whole Israel genociding Gazans thing and blockading their access to any supplies thing. But they gave them medicine whenever they could, healthcare whenever they could. What's another one? Generally just try to emotionally support them by being like kind and supportive to their trauma, and also kept the hostages together. So families were kept with their families, which is again something Israel doesn't do.
My understanding is that a lot of the hostages who've been released, their male family members are still being held by Hamas. I believe my understanding is that the vast majority of the women and children who were kidnapped by Hamas have been released, and it's primarily the male, a lot of the men, the male hostages who are still being held hostage. So I'm not sure what she's saying here.
I saw this mother and this daughter that were separated when they were in prison. Israel purposely separated them and put them in solitary confinement to make sure that they could not have any access to each other and could not support each other. This is a common thing that Israel does. So it's like the immense dehumanization that Israel is conducting against Palestinian people, compared to the kindness and the basically the treating Israeli hostages like family that Hamas is doing. So some fun facts about the Palestinian resistance. So the October 7th was not the first time that resistance fighters utilized gliders to fly over occupied lands. The night, it said today we remember, this was a few days ago, we remember the night of the gliders operation carried out by the Syrian.
Mega bold of you to assume that she would ever have any kind of damage control video after this. Jeez, no. There's no way.
Arab martyr Khaled Aker and the Tunisian Arab martyr Miloud bin al-Najah on behalf of the PFLP on November 25th, 1987. Our heroes flew into an IOF base, and this is so badass, you're gonna lose your mind.
This is so badass, guys. Listen to this previous terrorist attack that we did in the 80s.
Our heroes flew into an IOF base using gliders in occupied Palestine on hang gliders all the way from Syrian-controlled South Lebanon, armed with AK-47s, silenced pistols, and hand grenades. Aker was captured and martyred, meaning killed by Israel. Al-Najah swept in, killing 6 IOF soldiers and injuring 8 more as he fired his AK at the usurpers without mercy and hurled grenades into IOF tents. These martyrs were hailed as heroes, and the slogan 6-1, or 6:1, became popular among Palestinians mocking settlers in Gaza. This is back when settlers did live in Gaza. And also, I've been taking so much time off from my stream because I have been doing a lot of real life action stuff for Palestine, and that means that I don't stream. And I'm not going to stream my actions. I'm not gonna like do like horrible. I'm not gonna like ruin the OPSEC of a bunch of activists because I want to like make sure I keep my stream alive. Hold on, is this a song? No.
Okay, I'm looking at their Wikipedia page, and I mean, whatever terrorist attack she referenced, it was like what, from 1987? Well, it wasn't awesome enough to be noted in the PFLP's Wikipedia page. And she said they're claiming that it was like the spark of the first Intifada. Hold on a second. The Intifada began on the 9th of December, 87. In the Jabalia refugee camp, the third IDF truck collided with a civilian car, killing 4 Palestinian workers, 3 of whom were in the refugee camp. Palestinian charge that the collision was a deliberate response for the killing of an Israeli days earlier. Israel denied the crash, which came at the time of high tensions, was intentional and coordinated. Palestinian response was characterized by protests, the civil dissipated to violence. There was graffiti, barricading, and widespread throwing of stones and Molotov cocktails at the IDF and its infrastructure within the West Bank and Gaza Strip. This contrasted with civil efforts to lead strikes, boycotts of Israeli civil administration institutions in the Gaza Strip, West Bank, an economic boycott consisting of refusal to work in Israeli settlements on Israeli products, refusal to pay taxes, refusal to drive on Palestinian cars with Israeli licenses. So, and the citation for what started it appears to be is from Edward Said in 1989, titled "Intifada: The Palestinian Uprising Against Israeli Occupation." So it sounds like what she's referring to is something made up by the PFLP to kind of like pat themselves on the back. But
Hold on. This is a song! Okay, this is a song that I've been trying to get you to listen to. Okay, what is this called?
I'm
Is it called
skipping.
a death sentence?
Shut
I
up!
think it's called a death sentence.
Oh my god.
5 into the Palestinian tunes. If you want this playlist, it's 5 hours long, so there's plenty of PFL 40-page document, which the Israeli authorities codenamed Jericho Wall, outlined point by point exactly the kind of devastating invasion that led to the deaths of about 1,200 people. It's a sad day when the New York Times is even using the correct language to describe the deaths that occurred on October 7th, and Al Jazeera is not.
We already saw this clip.
Al Jazeera and its piss through definitively announce who the murderer is of every single person on October 7th. That's just sloppy reporting. It's very fucking annoying. Instead, the Israeli military was unprepared as terrorists streamed out of the Gaza Strip. It was the deadliest day in Israel's history. Can I just say, just to put this out there, I fucking take so much offense. I'm not Jewish, to be clear, but like I still, as like a person, take so much offense to the framing that it was the deadliest day for Jews since the Holocaust.
It was.
That implies so much and also dismisses so much. This isn't like a country full of Jewish people and also tons of other people, and specifically Jews were sought out. This isn't a plan to specifically genocide Jewish people because they are Jewish people.
Well, that's what the Hamas charter says. They want to eradicate every single Jew in Israel. Alfish, thank you for the $5 super chat. Do you think she even understands why Israel was established to begin with? Probably not. Look, the establishment of the state of Israel is a very, very, very messy, very, very contentious thing. But she would say that it's a completely illegal. It was a settler colonialism by Ashkenazi white Jews to killing all the brown people to establish their Zionist state, something oil, colonialism, genocide, ethnic cleansing. I know there are a lot of other buzzwords I'm missing, but yeah. But October 7th, you're right. It wasn't Hamas didn't like just specifically targeted Jewish Israelis. They killed everybody. Everybody who was a not Hamas was a target. So Thai immigrants, Indian immigrants, I think. Yeah, a lot of like migrant workers were both killed and kidnapped. I think at least like 12 Thai citizens were released. So yeah. But that doesn't take away from the fact that Hamas's stated goal is to wipe out every single Jew in the state of Israel.
Like, if you were insisting that every Jewish person on the planet needs to move to one spot, and then that one spot you besiege and terrorize and genocide the indigenous people, for
They told you.
decades and decades and decades, and then those indigenous people fight back. You cannot claim this is just like the Holocaust. They're targeting Jews. It's such bad faith framing. I hate the framing. I hate it so much. I hate it so much. Hey, Squidder. What's up, by the way? It automatically makes this seem like the attack was anti-Semitic. Yes, correct.
It was anti-Semitic.
Kidding.
It was.
Like,
And Hamas is dedicated to kill it. The fact that they killed non-Jews does not take away from what Hamas's goals are.
Israel, you're the one that insisted Jews live there, and only Jews live there. Like, that's not Palestine's.
There are, what's the number? Like, was it 26% of Israel is non-Jewish?
Fault. That's your fault. You're the one who did that.
So blaming the
Palestine
victim.
collected all the Jews and put them there and then attacked them. You put them there and then armed them and then had them genocide indigenous
I don't
people.
remember what the numbers are. It's like 26
Decades.
to 30% to 35%.
Ugh. At least if it's embedded in Discord. I don't think it is ever embedded in, like, typically the TikToks that I see in Discord are like, actually, I don't know. I can't speak to that. If the colonizer was someone else, it would be the same fucking reaction. Exactly. It'd be the same fucking reaction. 100%. I should read it. I think I saw an article that said something in the header that was akin to what I just said, and I should read it because I wonder what it says. I wonder if it'll be nice and cathartic to read. Even if they want to make the claim that the IOF is responsible for many deaths of Israelis that day, Hamas only takes responsibility for 300 deaths a day. Can I just make an announcement before we continue with this article?
By the way, they keep saying IOF. My understanding is that IOF to them means Israeli Occupation Force rather than Israeli Defense Forces. So,
because I think I'm gathering what this article is about, but we're gonna get. I just want to get the details of exactly, at least according to the New York Times, how deep
Gotcha. All right.
Israel's denial has
Justin.
went and what it led to. But I'm seeing a lot of parallels. Okay, I'm gonna back up and not say the scathing remark I was about to say. I will say, like, Hamas is not known for like lying to people about what deaths they cause.
oh, here we go. Now she's going to do the meme.
They like proudly own up to killing people when they do. They will be like, or they'll be like, yeah, we killed people, but that wasn't our objective. But they will actually, like, okay, so listen, I'm not an expert, but my rudimentary understanding of Hamas, and I'm trying to become better and better about understanding them, is that they're not like ever trying to spin any of their shit. They plainly admit what they do. They plainly admit when they like when something fucks up. Say what you will about them, but they're not like the type that go around lying about what they've done. Like, so whereas Israel is always
Really?
lying about what they're doing. Always. So if Hamas is like, yeah, we ended up killing these many people on October 7th, and Israel's like, no, you didn't, you killed more, I'm believing Hamas, sorry. Because Hamas has like, from what I've gathered from my rudimentary research, Hamas has a pretty...
98 HKG is a specific topic of discussion only pro-Palestinian. She's a hardcore lefty, and because hardcore lefties, their entire foreign policy revolves around America bad, and therefore because America supports Israel, that means Israel bad, and therefore anything opposing Israel is good. Ergo, Hamas good, PFLP good. Any terrorist organization that hates the state of Israel is therefore good. That's all you gotta need to know.
solid track record of like admitting to and taking responsibility for every single death. In a multi-continental effort that could provide a credible alternative to China-led Belt and Road Initiative, which has pushed many countries into a debt trap besides losing control over their assets. How much truth is there to that? Well, is China doing a little bit of imperialism on its own? Not really on the scale of U.S. imperialism, but of course American liberals will see it as a...
Oh, but also, oh, here we go. Perfect. Because America bad, and America has contentious relations with China, and China's increasing sphere of influence. Therefore, China good, and therefore she will toe the Chinese line. She'll toe the Russian line. She'll toe the North Korea line because, again, America bad, and therefore she will downplay anything that China is accused of doing in terms of human rights, in terms of imperialism. The same with Russia, because America bad.
Evil while being blind to their own place within the structures of white supremacy. I've kind of just made the decision to not. I don't know. People always like demanding that I like take a stand against China, and I'm not going to do that. I'm going to criticize certain things they do that are very clearly like, I don't know. You know when like people
Is she going to say anything about the Uyghurs? Let's hear it.
are like, oh, don't judge the Democrats because even though they're consistently horrible, they have a plan. You know that's bullshit. I get the feeling that maybe China does have a plan.
See?
So like, as much as that type of mindset is like thoroughly bullshit when it's trying to like run defense for America, because it's clear their track record is clearly shown they do not have a plan beyond greed.
Because China's not greedy at all. China, not greedy. They don't have their own national interests. They don't have their own way of wanting to get what they want for the progression of their nation. Not China. They're not greedy at all.
China does have a fucking plan. China's been very aggressive for the Palestinians.
Yeah, I've heard of Bad Empanada, Liz. I have heard of him.
I remember the first days, China's statements were much stronger than Arab countries. Wow. I do know, though, that China does do business with Israel, that China has advocated for, like, they definitely do business with Israel, so Israel does get funds from China, and China advocates for a two-state solution.
How dare they?
So, I'm not happy about that.
They're even not even China's extreme enough for her.
So from what I'm reading is that early project loans were overambitious and given to places that couldn't pay them back, putting them in debt, but pulled back afterwards and started being more cautious about who they gave loans to and is actively working to restructure old debts.
Okay.
The Chinese debt trap myth was debunked by Western outlets like Bloomberg. Really? Was even debunked by fucking Bloomberg? That's amazing. So this publication we just read is very a very pro Modi fascist rag, probably. If it's saying stuff like the Chinese debt trap.
You see what I told you about everything is fascist to these people? Everything is fascist. Any, like, to them, like, freaking Bernie freaking Sanders to these people is like, yeah, I guess he's pretty left. You know, he's lefty a little bit. To these people, that's, again, I want to stress how far extreme this individual is.
And it's speaking well of Modi and thinking of him as some sort of liberator, then we can pretty much throw it in the trash. It's more than a little frustrating that the evidence for Uyghur genocide is tenuous at best, is generated by far-right sources, and was
Bones, thank you for the super chat.
repeated by the very same Biden camp liberals who refuse to call what's happening in Gaza genocide. Also, when I'm digging, I've been trying to. All
right, fine, Tones, you win. I'll take down the I'll take down her audio bit for the $5 super chat.
Dig into the Uyghur so-called Uyghur genocide.
See the so-called Uyghur genocide. There it is.
My understanding of it is that the U.S. is funding groups to basically like destabilize China.
Of course, it's the U.S. It's always the U.S. The CIA are apparently funding the Uyghurs to destabilize China.
And instead of like just killing those people, has instead tried to like re-educate them so they can actually be not a destructive part of Chinese society. That's my understanding of actually what the situation is. Now, you may disagree with the means to which they pursue that, and I think there's a conversation to be had, but it's a
re-education camps.
Far different scenario than like what liberals, it sounds like to me that it's a far different scenario than what liberals are insisting it is, which is like the evil Chinese people just hate Muslims. And and now they're just stealing their children and genociding them culturally. But it's also really hard to get any information, honestly, because it's so much of it is just State Department nonsense. And like Cusker said, it is fucking remarkable that the same people sobbing over Uyghur, so-called Uyghur genocide are also the same people that don't seem to give any fucks about Palestinians.
Also, another tactic is a clear like whataboutism. Again, that's it. Again, because the thing is, like, you can have valid criticisms of U.S. foreign policy, about U.S. history, about what, you know, the things that we've done in as a country, slavery, Native Americans. We can have those discussions and we could talk about what the U.S. did and what we could do to rectify it. But the fact that the problem is that these folks, they'll talk all day long about the ills of the U.S., but they will go out of their way to minimize or outright deny anything that an opposing power has done to their own populace. China, North Korea, Russia, etc. They're incapable of being able to critically analyze all nation states as far as what they've done, good and bad. It's like, for them, America bad, and that's it. So therefore, anything opposing America is good, and we'll do everything in our power to propagandize in favor of the anti-America regimes. Chaos, thank you for the $5. This is the reason people need to use good birth control. Thank you.
There's a great unpacking of the Uyghur propaganda and its primary sources, red sales, maybe. I would love to, like, if you have like an article that I could read, because I'm not into videos. I can't fucking be bothered just to watch somebody. It just give me an article. Let me read it in my own time. Let me pull it up while I'm
98 HKG. I don't watch her. I don't watch her enough. I don't watch her enough to know. Actually, the other far lefty streamer that has the same view, almost the same views as her, is Hassanabi, or I call him Hamas Piker, or his real name is Hassan Piker. He has done a fair amount of Putin filleting in his streams, like basically towing a lot of the Kremlin line on his end. But I don't know about her. I presume she's probably of the same viewpoint, but I don't know for sure.
watching something. I'll read an article. If you have an article or articles, I would love to read those. Maybe not right now, but like generally speaking, maybe post it in my Discord or something. Or post it here so I can save it for later. So like, that's fucking China. This is why I'm never gonna be like China good. Like some people are so like China good that they like refuse to like criticize, and I'm never gonna be like that with any entity, nor should anybody, I think. Like always try to understand reality as like not like a fucking sports team or something.
Okay. All right, we're done. We're done. Thank God. Oh wait. I think he's also showcasing highlight. Jesus. I mean, for God's sake, what is happening? Oh. All right, guys. We gotta have something entertaining. I thought this was gonna be pure seriousness, but she just got me riled up really bad. Yeah, we need a palate cleanser. I need to find You said OSG has a soft set today, but is it funny? Is it funny or is it gonna frustrate me? That's the question. Okay, Mandy says it'll frustrate me, so forget it. Oh, excuse me. Oh, sorry. Ugh. Ugh. There's actually something really funny. Well, this one isn't funny, but I think we haven't seen the latest Popo Medic, have we? It's not funny. Mandy, Mandy, I can see chat, right? I know Chile. I know all our Nevada judges uploaded something involving Chile, but it was just a continuance. There really wasn't anything of note there. Who called that? Oh, that's right. No, I haven't actually seen that one yet. Hold on. He actually called the 911 on the cops because he's an idiot.
Next step is I call 911 and I get SWAT here.
We are SWAT. We are SWAT. So
good.
Unfortunately, right now you're tying up an emergency line for somebody that could be in cardiac arrest or having trouble breathing or having chest.
Well, they did try to say that I have to step out of the vehicle, and they're trying to demand things out of me. They're acting like they have the authority. Shut the car off. Shut the car off. Let's go. Right? Shut the car off.
Oh no.
Welcome back to the Van Balian channel, guys. Today we head to North Tonawanda, New York State for a traffic stop where a sovereign citizen turns a simple citation for blowing through a stop sign into a circus of epic proportions, where he cites the 10th Amendment of all things, calls 911 on the police, threatens to arrest the president, but ultimately gets arrested by the supervisor.
Wait, he threatened to arrest the president?
The Hertz hire car he's driving to deliver food in to the impound lot. Right, let's get into the video.
Oh god, he's a DoorDash driver?
Older black male with a gray beard.
What's up? Hey, David. Hey. Tell you who he is yet?
What's that?
Tell you who he is yet?
It's not.
All right, let's take him out and bring him back so we can identify him.
Yep. I was just trying to see if we had anything on there so I could at least come up and already have his information, but it's a rental car.
Yep.
And I got nothing else on it.
No idea who it is?
No, I've never even seen this guy before. Blew right through the stop sign, but he is not, he said he doesn't have to stick around. I was like, okay, well, I'm advising you legally you have to stay here.
Yeah, he's detained.
Yeah, probably not a good idea to use the words "I don't stick around" when you've been pulled over by the police. But then again, this is a soft sit we're talking about. Good ideas are not really their forte.
You got a rental car, brother. You got to have a contract for it, right? And a driver's license. I need to see that.
Did he just clap his hands like chop chop? Oh my god.
410-4.
Aren't we? I'll give you a little bit of insight. My uncle was first sergeant military police.
Right up yours. Thank you for being a member.
As a police officer in Genesee County.
Okay. Who is it in Genesee County?
That would be Morgan. So anyway, I also have had federal security clearance of high security public trust, right? So I'm all about
got a federal security clearance.
Constitution.
Okay.
Here we go again.
Yeah?
We've got another soft sit claiming to have special privileges because he had a relative in the military and now law enforcement, in the hope that it will get him out of a ticket. Spoiler alert, it won't. Also, because he brought up the Constitution, I would at this point tell him to go read the 10th Amendment, but I don't need to because he brings it up. Whether he understands it or not, though, is a different matter altogether.
So I need you as a public servant, because am I a public servant or are you the public servant?
So you're correct. I'm the public servant.
Good. You have an oath of office to that Constitution. Am I correct?
Yep.
What's the 10th Amendment?
So I'm not going to get into that.
So you don't. No. Now listen to it. 10th Amendment.
We're going to have you step out of the car.
You're not going to do anything.
All right, come on, sir. Get out.
Yep. I'm going to have you remove out of the car.
Wow, he literally turned into a 6-month-old baby there for a second. And that's not to throw shade on 6-month-old babies.
Hey, Irene.
They are definitely more intelligent, more coherent, and better behaved than this guy. I'm just saying it's funny watching a supposed grown man turn into a giant man baby.
So I'm going to record this
You're
again.
free to record. You can record whatever you like.
I'm going to roll up the window. How are you going to recite the 10th Amendment?
I'm going to have 203 start this way as well. 196 and 203 if you can edit this location.
Next step is I call 911 and I get SWAT here.
We are
Oh,
SWAT.
boy.
We are SWAT, so...
Good. You're insurrectionist at this point in time, because if you're trying to demand anything out of me...
Insurrection?
I have no problem with giving you my license and what have you. What I'm doing is I'm ensuring you're abiding by your...
Yeah, I know. Federal security clearance is... Well, I don't know if they changed the rules, but it used to be actually disturbingly easy to get federal security clearance. Or is it top? No, it was top secret clearance.
Oath to the Constitution.
So we need to see your driver's license.
You don't
your
need to
vehicle
see
registration.
anything from me, because you are a
I think they
public
changed the
servant.
rules since
I
then.
have the right to travel under the 9th Amendment.
Okay, first of all, threatening to
There
call
it is.
911 on a cop is hilarious just on its own. But threatening to call 911 to demand SWAT officers when the SWAT officers are the ones doing the traffic stop is pure comedy gold. And secondly, no, the right to travel does not include the right to drive a motor vehicle on a public road without a license, registration, insurance, etc. I shouldn't really have to keep repeating this, but here we are. And finally, yes, New York state law clearly states that he can ask you for identification for a traffic infraction precisely because he is acting within his capacity as a public servant. But you're going to find this out the hard way shortly.
I have right, First Amendment right, freedom of exercise.
Oh, all TSA have them?
Freedom of exercise.
So what does that have to do
religion.
with you
I'm
committing a
going to
vehicle and
clarify.
traffic violation?
Stop interrupting me. First Amendment, freedom of
copy.
exercise of religion, right? Does it state that
So
clearly?
what I don't understand, sir, is what does it have to do
So
with you not stopping
That's
at a
what I'm
stop
getting
sign
to. Are you going to
and
answer
speeding?
my question?
No, I need to see your driver's license and
If you're
registration.
not going to answer my question, then we're not.
He's not there to pander to your delusional view of the Constitution. He's there to probably just give you a warning for running a stop sign, I would guess. But looks like you're determined to turn this into a circus with you as the clown.
You want to act like a public servant and answer my question, or do you want to act like you're the
So what
authority
you're
when
going
you
to
have
do
none?
is turn this from just a simple traffic stop.
So what I'm doing is I'm
Verify that
asserting my rights as a U.S. citizen and validating that you're not abiding by your oath to the Constitution.
So my job here today.
So
is
your
to
job
monitor
here
traffic
today
safety.
is to enforce the law. Is that correct?
Which you violated.
No, because which is the supreme law of the land, Marbury versus Madison.
Yeah.
If a law is created that violates
He
a
did, nasty.
constitutional standard, it is automatically null and void.
And when, may I ask, were stop sign violations, the driver's license, and traffic laws in general deemed unconstitutional? Because you can't just wave a magic wand and declare it so. That's the job of the court. You know, the place where Marbury versus Madison, the case you rely so heavily on, was argued and ruled on.
So, sir,
Is that
how does that have
correct?
to
If
do
you
with
have an oath to
not
the
coming to a complete
Constitution,
stop at a stop sign?
So that's what I'm getting to. What's the freedom
I don't
of
understand.
So if you don't
a
understand,
roundabout
I'm
way to
free
get
to
to that.
educate you. Are you going to
Why are
listen?
you yelling at
Sir, Pennsylvania
because
versus
you are not
Mims.
listening to
Sir,
me.
Pennsylvania versus Mims says that we have the right to ask you out of the car.
You don't have any rights to the First Amendment, separation of church and state.
That's Supreme Court case
Supreme
law.
Court case, Marbury versus Madison. If a law is made that violates a constitutional standard, it's automatically null and void.
Oh, God, I love it when they think they know. Oh, the unearned
You
arrogance.
either give us your license or you have to step out of the vehicle.
Your choice.
Right, so in this guy's world, you can cite Supreme Court cases you like and declare any you don't unconstitutional just like that, then wind your window up like a big baby. What a snowflake.
Cringe, bro. Hey, Devin.
Yep.
It's annoying, isn't it?
I'm here till 10.
I got all day. Basically saying I got all day, man.
Case in North Carolina, just let you know. I had it thrown out. It was dismissed for the same principle I'm stating with you right now.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm sorry, but having a case dismissed and then lying about the reasons is not the threat you think it is.
So do you think you have the authority?
You violated vehicle and traffic
No
law.
authority.
Which law is that?
1172.
Your mom.
State law?
New York State vehicle and traffic law.
Who state Constitution refers to the U.S. Constitution as the supreme law of the land. Is that correct?
We're not doing this, sir.
If you're not doing it, then I'm not doing it.
Okay.
Right, so now soft-stick Karen follows through on his dumb threat to call 911 on the cops, unnecessarily tying up a dispatcher for about 5 minutes or so. But on the bright side, it does lead to the arrival of a no-nonsense supervisor and the arrest he deserves. But yeah, I think he should be arrested just for this alone.
Just do it for respond.
203, did you say you responded here?
Yep, I'm on my way there now.
10-4.
Calling 911.
I'm aware.
County, just so you're advised, this driver's calling 911.
Ha!
Niagara County 911, where's your emergency?
Yeah, I don't know where exactly.
This guy.
What road am
We're
I
on Rui
officers?
Road, sir.
Do we?
We're on Rui Road.
Rui? Okay, I'll let you, the officer, explain. Right now I have a couple police officers. I'm trying to assert my rights under the Constitution. First Amendment, separation of church of state, which states clearly in the First Amendment that the freedom of exercise of religion, that freedom of exercise...
What does your religion have anything to do with you being in a traffic stop?
If Congress can't pass a law, then they can't violate, the Judicial Department can't enforce the law. That's supreme law of the land. I'm asserting that with these officers. They're pulling me over for a traffic violation, which is state law. And on the federal level, they refuse to abide by their oath of office to the Constitution. Now they're acting under the 10th Amendment, which states clearly to the state or the people. It's not exclusive to the state. So that said, they don't have any authority nor jurisdiction in this matter. Even if I did go
authority,
there's nobody that was hurt or injured, which doesn't make it
no injured party.
And since I follow common law, which is 5 of the 10 commandments, no murder, no theft, no coveting, no bearing false witness, and no adultery, they are currently
no adultery.
Well, I don't know if I did or not. That's what they're proclaiming, but state law doesn't supersede federal law. Federal law, First and 10th Amendment, as well as the 9th Amendment apply here, and they're violating the rules of the Constitution, which in turn would make them insurrectionists.
Wow, would you like some dressing?
Insurrectionists.
Holy amount of word salad. That poor dispatcher, she's not there to listen to your pseudo-legal ramblings. She's there to respond to real emergencies. And why are these two officers letting this continue? I know they're trying to de-escalate the situation, but allowing him to abuse 911 is just ridiculous.
Now, I have police officers in my family and what have you. Sure, my name is Richard Ewart. Driver's license, Ewart, E-W-E-R-T. And just for fun.
All right, if he actually is going to say his driver's license, hold on, I'm going to make sure I skip that.
Fun, because I don't have any problem with giving them my license and what have you. I'm just kind of asserting my rights at the moment.
So he has a license, but he's giving them this much difficulty.
My driver's license number, if you need. So again, if you want to have the argument about it being commercial or what have you, because that's what driving is referencing, that's why you would need a license if you're working under commercial, which I technically am at the moment, but nevertheless the 9th Amendment still applies.
Oh right, so he's sticking with the soft sit script even when to him it doesn't apply. Now that's some high level mental gymnastics you have to perform to justify your position there, or he's just a liar. Anyway, now he tries to equate what he claims to be a violation of his constitutional rights to someone either having a cardiac arrest and or breathing problems. This is disgusting.
Do you have an emergency?
The emergency is these cops are violating my constitutional rights and they refuse to leave.
On the way over to speak with you. You can speak with the lieutenant when he gets there. But unfortunately, right now, you're tying up an emergency line for somebody that could be in cardiac arrest or having trouble breathing or having chest pain.
Well, they did try to say that I have to step out of the vehicle, and they're trying to demand things out of me. They're acting like they have the authority when they're public servants.
On the way there, you can speak with the lieutenant when he gets there, okay?
Alrighty.
Really?
Thank you.
Okay. You're welcome.
So in other words, get off the line, you selfish, narcissistic, entitled Karen, who has the nerve to call 911 an emergency line and equate a real-life emergency to a supposed constitutional violation. And yes, he posted this body cam to YouTube himself, so obviously he thinks this makes him look good. But like I said, yeah, he's a
They always do!
So of course he did.
Where were you headed to when you were driving down there?
I'm delivering some food.
Where are you delivering?
Go ahead.
I don't know the exact address.
Well, you've been doing DoorDash for.
I've been doing Uber and like...
10-4, we heard.
Like I said, I don't have any problems with you guys. I'm not a defund the police or anything like that. I'm fully on your side, but when it comes to constitutional rights, especially with the Democrats being the way they are, I'm making sure that I'm...
Democrats!
You have the rental agreement
for some reason.
No, it's actually at home.
Yeah, speaking of the rental agreement, I wonder if he knows that intentionally breaking the law in one of their vehicles is a violation of that agreement.
Probably.
He should have read it before using it to pull this right to travel BS. Also, why is it that the people who claim to not have problems with the police are always the first ones to give police the most hassle?
True!
I guess my thing is you either don't believe me that you ran directly through a stop sign, or you didn't stop at all. You went directly through a stop sign and are speeding.
Well, I wouldn't say I was speeding. I wouldn't know that. But again, the stop sign, to me, I didn't see the stop sign. So if I did, it's because I didn't see it.
That's fine. And we could have gone a whole different route over this, other than
exactly. And I just wanted to ask you questions, and I needed
it's not for you to ask me questions.
It
I
is
was
my
super
job.
cordial to you. I came up to you. All
It
I said
doesn't
is I
make
need
a
to see your
difference.
driver's license.
Again, you're the public servant, right?
Correct. But
so if I ask you a question, if you wanted to keep it cordial and everything, you would have answered the question.
Right, but you're not even identifying who you were to me.
I don't have to identify
You do, though, because you're driving on a New York State roadway. You need to produce...
And round we go in circles. Honestly, this is starting to feel a bit like Groundhog Day, but thankfully the supervisor has arrived to put a stop to this nonsense. Yeah, let's see him work his magic.
Sir, it has nothing to do with
to travel.
You can speak with my supervisor.
Okay.
It's New York State law. This is the traffic stop. Identify yourself, or you're going to be arrested for obstruction and a misdemeanor.
All right. You have an oath to the Constitution, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
It's time to get out of the car and identify yourself.
So if you go and do what you're doing, you're violating your oath to the Constitution.
Nope.
Yes.
You're detained right now. You're accused of committing a crime, a vehicle and traffic law. You have to identify yourself. It's basic when you're 16 years old and get your license. I'm Lieutenant Swift at 203. You're going to identify yourself to these officers right now.
Exactly, the supervisor makes a great point. Even
Nimrod, thank you for being a member for
that
1 year.
The odd one goes down the soft sit rabbit hole and gets owned by a veteran New York cop who then impounds his car. That's a different video.
Why are you not identifying yourself?
Oh, that's such a good video, too.
On the 911 call, I give him my driver's license number now. But as far as that's concerned, again, you have an oath to the Constitution. Are you going to allow me to speak? I'll clarify that.
Yeah, that's the funny thing is, well, the thing is, Tones, the thing is, Tones, he claims he's not using, it's not like he's making the claim that he's not using his vehicle for commercial activity, or else he would be classified as a hypocrite. The problem is that he says he doesn't need a license, period, at all.
Yep. Are you going to identify yourself?
Are you going to allow me to clarify
Yes.
everything?
Yes.
So I already did on the 911 call. I actually gave you, did you happen to take notice of the driver's license number that I gave? That you could ran it?
Well, we wouldn't be able to do that because we're having a conversation while you were giving that
So
to
either way,
dispatch.
right, we have a oath to the Constitution. Now, keep in mind, I don't need anybody. Again, as I iterated to them, my uncle was First Sergeant Military Police. My cousin is works as police over in my county, Genesee County, right? So I have no problem with police.
Again, I will give my brother full permission to beat the ever-living shit out of me if I ever name drop him if I get in trouble in the DFW area. He has full permission.
Keep saying the words you don't have a problem with the police, yet you misuse 911, which can have serious consequences, as stated by the dispatcher. To report 2 cops for pulling you over for a violation.
Devin E says, have you played any of the Metro games like Exodus, Artie? They're all 80 to 90% off on Steam. You can get 4 games for $9. As a matter of fact, I actually have all the Metro games. I actually played the first Metro, and I think I do have Metro Exodus. I just never played it, haven't played it yet. It's way down the list in my priorities right now, though, unfortunately.
You agreed was wrong because you tried to...
But I heard it is a really good series, and I should check it out. So
by it. That doesn't sound like the actions of a man baby who likes the police now, does it?
What I'm doing right now is I'm asserting my rights. I'm making sure you're abiding by your oath to that Constitution. Why is that important today? Because what I'm saying to you right now, because as much as you're trying to come at me, keep in mind I have the full legal right to remove Joe Biden.
Shut up, CT.
Shut
up.
Are you okay?
Do you know what
I hate that I get that too.
Do you know what year it is?
Do you know what year it is?
Okay.
Interesting how we can't answer any of the questions, or only repeat the same ones back. Also, this officer's reaction to him saying he has the full legal right to remove Joe Biden from office.
Guys, my headphone just ran out of battery. I don't know if I have anything to replace it with. Hold on. I actually don't have any I don't have any wired headphones to use. Hold on. Hold on. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I can actually use them while they're charging. I thought I couldn't do that. Perfect. All right. We're almost done with this video too. So, all right, we're almost done. You guys hear me? We're good.
Something I would love to see him try, by the way, for obvious reasons.
Let me clarify this for you, because you want to have this kind of argument. Do you proclaim December to be the 12th month
Of the year? Yes.
even though the word itself states?
Bold of you guys to assume that I have speakers. I don't have speakers. I've been using headphones. I've been using headphones for like 6 years, 7 years.
Sir, I don't know if
So exactly.
I don't know if
you don't know.
I want to help. I don't know if it's a mental
I want to help
health
people
issue.
too.
Is this a mental health issue, or you?
That
you
sounds
hate the
like you
cops?
do have one, because if you proclaim December to be the 12th month when it literally means the 10th, means you're probably not in your right mind.
Identify yourself to these police officers, please. Right now, identify yourself to these police officers.
So are you doing an insurrection against people?
You're about to be removed from this vehicle. Shut the
a month.
The car off. Shut the car. Car off. Shut.
Hello, hello, hello. I think you guys can hear me.
We can't hear you at all.
Hold on. But I can't hear anything. Hang on. Um. Oh, I'm going wild. Okay, hold on. How about now?
$5 a month.
Okay, am I gone? Okay.
Let's go.
Problem is I still can't hear myself.
Ready?
1, 2, 3. What is? Actually, oh fuck! Failing. I'm failing at this so hard right now. Hold on.
Shut the car up! Shut it off! Right now! Come on! Shut it off! Get out of the car! Step out. On your stomach.
Now you just committed assault.
On your stomach right now. Come here, hand.
Now you just committed assault.
Come here, hand. Relax your arm.
Soft-sit hypocrisy never fails to amuse me. For the last 20 minutes, he's been arguing that New York state law doesn't apply to him, because reasons. Yet as soon as the cuffs go on, he cites the New York penal law. Amazing.
I am fully
Relax your arm.
You committed assault.
Nope, you tried to close the window on me. I told you to get out of the vehicle. Taking multiple chances to identify yourself.
Now I told you quite often that you're insurrectionists against people.
No. You have any weapons in the car?
No, now you're performing illegal search and seizure. Violation of the Fourth Amendment.
And why am I not surprised that he doesn't understand how the Fourth Amendment works?
All right, I give up, guys. It's not working. I'm sorry. Next time I'll have something figured out. I apologize for not being able to get this thing figured out. I thought this thing could support me being able to hear it with a freaking this, but it's not working. I'm sorry. But you guys got to see him get hooked up.
If you want, roll to your side here. And sit on your bottom. Sit up.
I can't hear it. Well, at least you guys can. Okay.
Ready? Up on your feet.
1, 2, 3.
Okay. Back with three. Please pat him down. Yes, sir.
I don't have any weapons.
Oh, we gotta check you anyway.
I have the right to wear them anyway under the Second Amendment.
Okay.
Dude, I don't think they're challenging your Second Amendment rights. It's just asking as a courtesy because you're getting arrested and your vehicle, which is full of cold DoorDash or Uber Eats orders, is going to car jail. So they need to take an inventory. Not everything is an attack on your rights.
Have a seat, sir.
All right. Sit tight.
Right, so that's where I'm going to leave this one. The ride to jail and booking in process was mostly uneventful. There were a couple of funny moments where he started with the soft sit script in the back of the police car, but the officer just turned the music up to drown him out. I can't play that for copyright reasons, but if you would like to see that and the rest of the video, then I will provide a link to the original in the description. Right, so according to the police report, he was charged with obstruction, fingerprinted and released on an appearance ticket. The vehicle, which belonged to Hertz, was apparently a road hazard and impounded. Right, thank you so much for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this video, then please leave me a like, share the video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you also to my channel members and patrons for your continued support. I really appreciate it. Right, take care all, and I will catch up with you in the next video.
Alright, that's it. Alright, we're done here, guys. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys on Friday, okay? You guys take care. Have a good night. Adios. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. See ya. Take care. Later. Thanks for watching. I do appreciate it, of course. As always.